Alright, lo siento. So, okay, let's get down to business, and... Alright, UFC 123, Rampage versus Machida. This is going to be really quick. So, what I thought of it, it was a really good card. I liked it a lot. With the exception of the decision in the main event. You know, by the end of it, I thought that Machida had done enough to win a split decision. You know, Rampage got the first round. I saw Machida winning Rampage won the second round. I saw the Dragon getting rounds 1 and round 3. He looked really good in round 3. He got him hurt on the ground, was mounted, got the armbar. I mean, he tried for an armbar, but Rampage even admitted that he thought Machida kicked his ass. But should they do a rematch? No, give Machida someone that he most likely can beat right now, so he can get that confidence back in him. Not that I think that he's lost it, but for just do something. And for Rampage, don't give Rampage a title shot. You know, like don't. I don't really want to see Rampage versus Evans 2 or Rampage versus Shogun 2. So, all right, next one. Hughes versus Penn. Wow. I picked Penn to win, but I did not expect him to win like that. He looked really... he was fired up. He went in there, just clobbered Matt Hughes in 21 seconds. So, that's how it goes. What's next for BJ Penn? He's going to be fighting John Fitch at welterweight, I assume. If there's anyone that can finish John Fitch at welterweight, it's going to most likely be BJ Penn, so that's going to be intriguing. And, okay, congratulations to Stephan Bonnar for getting a win, and for Jonathan Brookins for being the the Season 12 Ultimate Fighter. Even though that card... And congratulations to Damian Maia, too, for, again, winning without getting a submission over Kendall Grove. Okay, now from the top, St. Pierre versus Koscheck 2. You guys all know who St. Pierre is, what he's all about. Since his loss to Matt Serra, he has not lost in the UFC on like a 6-fight winning streak. And this is a match that I think a lot of us are going to see how it's going to go. Kind of like this is tailored to be like St. Pierre's the good guy and Josh Koscheck is the bad guy, the American bad guy. Koscheck, collegiate wrestler, started as a wrestler. He says that he's a striker now or a knockout artist. I don't think he is yet, but he does have wins over Dustin Hazlett, Frank Trigg, Paul Daly, Anthony Johnson, Yoshiyuki Yoshida knocked him out in spectacular fashion, and Chris Lytle. First time these two fought, Josh Koscheck said he underestimated St. Pierre's ability to take him down, and St. Pierre went out there and basically did that for for 3 rounds, and eventually won the unanimous decision. St. Pierre is going to try to do the same in his hometown, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And Koscheck has been saying in the pre-fight talks that he's going to go out there and try to knock out St. Pierre. I don't think that's going to happen. What I see in this fight is St. Pierre is going to go out there. He's going to do the stuff that he has been doing, which is he's going to stick and move, be dynamic with his strikes, which he's very good at that. He's going to use the Superman punch combination with leg kicks. He does that often, and I see him eventually, again, grinding out a 5-round unanimous decision. I don't think he's going to finish Koscheck, but the more I keep thinking about it, the more I think, you know, well, I'm entertaining the idea, could Koscheck pull it off? If he does, he needs to watch out for the Canadians that night. So, just putting it out there. Because, yeah, it's also kind of strange that on this card in Canada, George St. Pierre is the only Canadian on the main card. They've also got Mark Bocek, Joe Dirksen, TJ Grant, Sean Pearson, John McDessie. Alright, so, yeah. So, good luck to St. Pierre, coming off of a win. But, like, yeah, St. Pierre, I'm kind of frustrated with the way he has been fighting recently, and I imagine a few people are, even despite his dominant win over Dan Hardy, a 5-round fight. I think that there were times when he could have done more, but he decided to do the safety first type of wrestling base that he's always been that he has applied to all of his fights. He had Hardy in what looked like a textbook armbar, but somehow couldn't finish him. So neither of these guys are going to gas. Neither of these guys, I think, are going to get incredibly rocked, because St. Pierre, while he has great strikes, he doesn't necessarily have knockout power, because when was the last time you saw St. Pierre knock someone out with his hands? So, St. Pierre, 5-round unanimous decision. But good luck to both guys. Next one, Stefan Struve versus Sean McCorkle. Is this really the co-main event? Sean McCorkle, on MMA blog sites, he's been talking some mad trash about Stefan Struve for really no reason. I think some of it is just to help sell the fight, but he's been saying some nasty stuff. Even some stuff that's bad about the UFC, like that he thinks that he's too good for the UFC. Trash like that. But Sean McCorkle did look fairly impressive in his debut at UFC 119, in which he broke the elbow of Mark Hunt in 63 seconds, I think it was. And I think Mark Hunt is suspended indefinitely from the UFC too. So Sean McCorkle, very good wrestling base. He trains with Chris Lytle. I mean, like a good jiu-jitsu base, but I can't see him winning here against a guy as well-rounded and as tough as Stefan Struve. Struve coming off a pretty nice knockout victory over Christian Moorcraft, in which I have that fight also. I think that was knockout of the night bonuses. So in this fight, I see Struve being too stubborn in this fight for Sean McCorkle to do anything and for him to catch him with any submissions. And Sean McCorkle's stand-up looked questionable. And Struve's stand-up, we know, is improving. So Struve's last loss was to a guy like Roy Nelson. So I'm picking Struve to either win by TKO late round 3 or by a dominant unanimous decision. Anyway, man, my hair's messed up. Alright, I'm going to go through the rest of the main card. We've got Jim Miller versus Charles Oliveira. Jim Miller, I've kind of overlooked him as a fighter. He's a talented wrestler, brother of Dan Miller, who's also fighting on this card. But let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of his 7 UFC fights, he has only lost one of them, and that was when he got bullied by Gray Maynard. His only other loss is to Frank Edgar. So his losses are to the number 1 lightweight in the world and the number 2 lightweight in the world. I think BJ Penn's still the number 2 lightweight in the world, but I'm just saying. Gray Maynard right now, where he is, he's number 2 lightweight in the world. And they're both by decision. So Jim Miller has really been doing his thing. He's got wins over Dave Baran, Matt Whitman, Steve Lopez, Mac Danzig, Dwayne Ludwig, Mark Bocek, and Gleason Tebow. Fight of the night, honors 1 time, submission of the night 1 time also. I feel like I should pick Jim Miller because it seems like that's what's most likely going to happen. Charles Oliveira, undefeated, and has had 2 impressive submission victories, one in which he retired Efren Escudero from the UFC, rear naked choke, and a very impressive textbook armbar over Darren Elkins at Jones versus Matt Yushchenko. And in this matchup, I think I want to pick Olivera and say that he just might do it, because will it be an upset if he wins? I think so. So, even though I'm well aware of Jim Miller's ability to win this fight and to grind out a wrestling decision over a guy like Olivera, I'm going to pick Olivera to win by submission or by decision also. So good luck, Olivera. Let me see, how many wins does he have? Yeah, he's 14-0, not bad. And Joe Stevenson versus Mac Danzig. I'm rooting for Mac Danzig to win because he needs a win right now, but I can't pick him to win against Joe Stevenson. Let me see, Danzig, he had 3 losses in a row, then he was just barely able to get a win over Justin Buchholz at UFC 109. Then he lost to Matt Whitman in a fight in which a lot of people think that I think he wasn't out, but bad call by the ref. But Joe Stevenson coming off of a loss in which he has nothing to be ashamed of over George Sotiropoulos, who continues to look really good. So, I'm going to pick Stevenson to win by submission, guillotine choke, or TKO over Mac Danzig. But good luck, Mac Danzig. I hope you win, man. Not because I'm a fan of him, but I'm just saying. Okay, Thiago Alves versus John Howard. John Howard has, I think, a better chance to win than most people are giving him credit for over Thiago Alves, but I'm going to pick Alves to stuff John Howard's takedowns and to neutralize any striking he can do to win a 3-round unanimous decision or a split decision. And so for the rest of the card, I'm going to say Dustin Hazlett over Mark Bocek, Dan Miller over Joe Dirksen, and Matt Riddle over Sean Pearson, and Ricardo Almeida over TJ Grant. TJ Grant's back. I have him on all my UFC DVDs, so that's what's going on, guys. Check it out. MMA, it's awesome. Or keep up with it. Make it a great day or else.